Interesting.
now.
And
Oh wait, I'm gonna share it.
hey, we got okay.
What is happening? Oh wait, I'm gonna share it.
Hey, we got okay. All right, so we're all done with the sharing. We've got our live feed going. We've got 5 people watching. With the record is on. And let's see, I think we are ready to go. Ed, is everybody ready? It's the Tommy Feldman happy hour. Woo! We did it. We did it, you guys. We made it through another week of, I guess, not the pandemic so much as the endemic. I don't know. It's the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour. As you can see from this fancy logo I've made here, TTFHH. I always forget to point that out. It's a talk show, you guys. It's a talk show made with zero budget from a guy.
Woo! The best kind of talk show.
Yeah. And we're here to talk about comedy. We interview comedians, find out about what got them into comedy. We play some of their work. We do a little improv together. We do some sketches. We do all kinds of stuff here. It's a complete comedy show for your free viewing pleasure here on Zoom. Also streamed later on to YouTube. Welcome. Good to have everybody here. For those of you watching live, Ed, is your mom on yet? I'm not sure.
No, I don't know, but probably just go.
We'll just keep on
if she
going.
has a problem, she'll contact me.
Hey, that's my one friend.
You got, yeah, see, that's what's great about this show. Friends come on, find out what we're doing, what we're up to. But you know what we always do here at the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour is first we start with the news of the world. The news of the world, you guys, because, why not? It's a comedy show. We got to talk about what's happening in the world. And I'd like to take a little bit of a comedic spin on these things. Comics, Valarie, Kyle, Kavita, if you've got a comment about any of these, more than welcome. Let's get right into it, you guys. We got some important news this week. Sad to say that the oldest pub in Britain is closing its doors after 1,229 years in continuous operation. It's a tragedy, a tragedy. But I, for one, am not surprised, because cancel culture, cancel culture affects everything these days, especially this place, because after all, its name is Ye Old Fighting Cocks. Is the name. I mean, there's a lot to cancel here. You got
the only kind of bar that I go to.
Is that the bar you go to?
I think I know why it closed. Like, when you think about it, why fight cocks at bar prices when you could just fight cocks at home?
Exactly.
Cool.
True. You said it was 1,229 years old?
Yes, sir.
Were they still serving grog? Was that the problem? They're still serving grog and mead and
all that good stuff.
Financial reasons?
I'm not sure, but I think there's a lot to cancel here. You got the animal cruelty, you got the violence in the name, and of course, toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity. You could get canceled for that. So
I thought maybe their
when I go to a bar,
had suffered from shrinkage.
When you go to a bar?
When I go to a bar, I only order dicks on a platter, and they should only be fighting.
Yep, that's all. That's
but
probably
if it
on
was
them.
To do with cockfighting, like actual chicken.
I don't know. It's just it's.
I thought that was a Mexican thing.
I guess not. I guess it's a historical thing. Moving on, Republican Congressman Marjorie Taylor Greene triggered a wave of viral internet jokes last week after ranting about the gazpacho police. That's true. She says that's who's patrolling the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. Gives a whole new meaning, you guys, to the idea of the soup Nazi.
Yeah, soup Nazi.
Soup Nazi, gazpacho police. But seriously, if you're gonna make anti-Semitic claims of equivalency, as ignorant people tend to do, at least, Marjorie, use the right terminology. It's not gazpacho, it's the Gestapo. is what they called it.
Maybe she was serious. I mean, maybe it's a type of police and they walk around and they ask you for your gazpacho and you have to have a little pouch of it around your neck.
Right. Yeah, you have to have a seal of gazpacho.
Yeah, and it's filled with blood and gazpacho. It's a new type of real ID by the Illuminati.
The Illuminati.
It's really appropriate that because she has the warmth of a cold soup. So it's very fitting for her gazpacho. Yeah.
She's a real cunt in that she lacks depth and God damn it, I used to have a joke that said that. I found it on a note in my purse. Move on.
It's amazing that gazpacho is a cold soup, and I'm not a big fan, but
nobody wants to spoon with her.
Yeah.
Oh. No, the joke was I would call her a cunt, but she doesn't have depth nor warmth.
Okay.
See, if I had pulled it off, it would have been cool.
Nice save, Valarie. Nice save.
Hey, crackers and soup always go together too, so she's definitely a cracker.
Crackers, there you go. Crackers.
That's a good one.
Oil prices, you guys, are surging past $100 per barrel after Russia launched an invasion of Ukraine, and analysts say oil and commodities prices could go even higher. So, there's a trading opportunity here, but good luck trying to explain that to a young person. I mean, if I had to, I would say, commodities are like NFTs, but based on actual stuff. That's not a joke, by the way. That's just our personal finance segment here at the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour.
It's fucked.
You're welcome.
Which is the best place to consult for your personal finance.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I do want to let you know that I think that joke was pretty crude.
Oh my God.
Exactly. I mean, why not give out personal finance advice? Anyone could get into that racket.
Too oily for this type of thing. Anyway.
So Brad Pitt, you guys, has apparently sued his former wife, Angelina Jolie, for selling her stake in a French winery they had bought together. Now, my first comment is that steak and wine go great together. So what's the problem? If she wants to sell her steaks there, well, I mean, why not? Second point is rich people problems. Am I right? I mean, I'd just be happy to visit a winery once in a while. Okay.
I think he needs to adopt a new stance.
Not another child, but another.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. This is the last story of the night, you guys. So I found this out today, but the Russian invasion of Ukraine now makes the Ukrainian president Volodymyr Zelensky officially a wartime president. Now, I didn't know this, but Zelensky is a former comedian. So the one thing that hasn't changed about this guy is he still hates bombing. Thank you.
I like that.
Still hates bombing.
I didn't know it's blood on blood action. I didn't know that. That's kind of intense. I didn't realize his name was Vladimir too.
And also and I looked this up earlier. The last president of Ukraine was also Vladimir too. Volodymyr. So I don't know. It's a very popular name, but
it's too close to Voldemort. I don't. As a millennial, it gives me goosebumps when I hear. I think Dracula and I think Voldemort, and it's hard.
Well, that's it, you guys, for the news of the world. Guys, give it up for me for bringing those stories, and thank you for the comments. Let's see if we got no new comments, but all right, we'll just keep chugging along, and we'll stroll on to our first interview of the night. Now I have Kavita. I have as my first interviewee, so let me bring up Kavita Singh, you guys. Guys, give it up for Kavita Singh for making it on the show.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I always like to give a little bit of an introduction of how I know this comic, and Kavita was on Zoom. I mean, nowadays, I've been doing mostly Zoom comedy, and I think I saw Kavita do a set, and I thought, okay, Let's find out a little bit more about her story. I know from that Kavita, I know you spent some time in New York. I know you're now in Oakland, but that's all I know. So let's start with just introducing yourself. Kavita, tell us about you, what you're doing in comedy and how you got into comedy in the first place.
Yeah, cool. All right. So my name is Kavita. I am 5'2" and 120 pounds. I have really wide hips now. So I actually got into I started comedy literally right before the pandemic started.
Okay.
In Boston. And then I did a bunch of hopping around. Like I immediately stopped once everything shut down. I went back on Zoom. I've done some comedy in Manhattan for a few months. But now I'm officially stationed in Oakland. Woo!
Yeah.
So you've
Mm-hmm.
experienced, you said Boston, New York, and now Oakland. So now I got to ask you, what do you see as a person newer to the scene? What do you think about the different comedy environments there?
Okay, so it's super hard because I haven't been doing comedy like long enough in each of those places. I feel like it was a little taste, but Boston comedy is okay. I feel like there are way fewer mics. I think that people are so PC there that they always laugh at your jokes. Like any jokes about like race, any jokes about like race, they have to laugh. It's just that like white Puritan like guilt. So just like, yeah, I love it. I'm sorry, I love it. The people are generally, I feel like the people there are like colder than the weather, but it's not because they're like insecure or competitive. I just think that Boston people don't know how to make friends. The New York scene, I think, is, I mean, obviously it's incredible. Like, I think it's so diverse, and the talent there is amazing. And you guys know, like, I think it's big enough that you can find your own like little pocket of community. And then now I'm here in Oakland, and so I only did New York for like 2 months. And in Oakland, or just like the general Bay Area, the scene is it is thriving. Like there's so many shows that you can get on. There's more stage opportunities there. I feel like the people who I encounter are it feels a little toxic, not gonna lie.
Okay.
And it feels very competitive here. And I think that's a function of things being small.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if I could, look, if I weren't simping after my boyfriend, I would be in New York.
Yeah.
But it's a learning curve.
Well, it's interestingly that you said about the Bay Area, because, you know, obviously I came from there and Ed is still there. So it is a smaller community. So it can be a little bit harder to, you know, to sort of find your way. But they say, this is what they say, that is, as San Francisco is supposedly more supportive. Like that's what they always say about, oh, it's very supportive.
Oh, but like where though? Where's that?
I'm not sure what supportive means, but I guess it's good. I don't know.
I feel like the South Bay is supportive.
Yeah.
Okay, I would believe that. Okay, I think I have this thing. I've only been here for like 5 months, but I feel like the people in Oakland are just very like happy and gay and like want to help you out and want to book you for shows. And then the people in SF are like sad and gay. Like they there's a lot of pettiness and drama that goes on. And I think that's like every area in the Bay Area is just very different.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what I also find interesting about what you just said in your story is you said that you started out in live comedy and then the pandemic hit. And so obviously that was 1.5 years or more of Zoom, and then you're back. So do you feel like Zoom comedy helped you to improve during the pandemic?
Oh my God, yes. Okay. You ever like bomb on Zoom and you kind of don't give a fuck because you know that everyone is already like on another screen, just like doing their job or like reading a fucking BuzzFeed article. Like the joy of like the fear of bombing was completely obliterated once I was like bombing on Zoom all the time. I was like, okay, I could do this with people who aren't really paying attention.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Then you bomb live, and then your soul gets sucked out of you, and you're watching yourself just like fail, you know. So I would say I got confidence like over Zoom. And I also feel like being in different areas, like watching people perform from like New York and like Long Island and England and whatever, like there's so much talent and so many different like styles that you learn about that you wouldn't get being very localized.
That's true. Now, now that you're back in doing live comedy, are you, I mean, we kind of talked a little bit before the show started about, you know, making a living at comedy or doing it full time, or are you, what's your thinking right now? I mean, are you going to go for it? Are you going to try to make it as a full timer, or are you thinking taking the slower approach, maybe have a day thing, a career for something else, do this as a, because there's a lot of, especially in the Bay Area, there's a lot of styles of comedy career.
Yeah, well, okay, Valarie and Kyle, I want to hear your opinion on this too, because I feel like in the old Amy Poehler days, I don't know, people always talked about how you can never do both. Like you can never have a job and then do comedy. But I feel like because of Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, like social media has created this huge opportunity where like we can have jobs and we can also get that visibility that we need.
Yes.
So I'm going to keep both of my jobs. I'm going to keep my job because I work in tech.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate it, but it is good. And also like I honestly, I do not believe that you could survive well with just like working at a coffee shop. I feel like things are impossible these days. Like our parents bought their houses for like strawberries and we need like $1 million, you know?
Right.
So it's like, I'm going to use my job to support myself, still do comedy on the side and like really work on time management. And I don't have a fucking life. Like that is my trade-off.
That's very smart, Kavita. I mean, I think you know, and I'm glad that you recognize that. I think that's the new type of career of comedy is, you know, where you kind of, you shift it over time, you know, and you have your day job and then comedy is on the side. And then eventually comedy, if you're lucky, comedy will take over at some point, kind of like a startup almost, you know, you do it as a side thing until it becomes legit.
Well, it's really hard because it's so easy to just like focus on work all the time.
Yes.
And you know, it's like, I honestly believe that you can't do something like 50-50, but I'm trying to do it. And I feel like I'm flailing a lot, but shit's different for everyone. What's her name?
Yeah.
Sarah Cooper. Cooper? That's what she was a Googler and she managed to make these little TikToks that somehow exploded, you know?
Right. Yeah. And
Michelle Wolf had a big job. Wanda Sykes was in the NSA. Like,
oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Wanda Sykes. She's just like, breaking into people's phone, and she's like, "What kind of shit are these people just going through other people's private text messages, and it's just about like their sex life, like nothing like security related at all."
I think especially in the Bay Area, that's one of the good things about the Bay Area is that most of the companies it wouldn't hurt you to be even if they find out you're a comic at Facebook, Google, or whatever tech company you're at, no one's gonna care. I mean, not nowadays.
Dude,
do you agree?
It's not the companies that care, it's the comics that care. Like I work in tech, people are like, "You fucking piece of trash." Like, I can't live in my house because of you. I think I'm gonna say like 80% of the comics that I hang around are non-tech.
Right.
And then not like 85 are non-tech, and then the rest are, and all of us who are, we're kind of like hiding.
Yeah.
You're like hiding your badges. You're like putting your badges back inside your shirt.
They're like, "We are with you, love us," and they're like, they're always on the lookout. Yeah.
That's an interesting point.
I think it works good doing something like tech that you can do during the day though, because like I'm a waiter in my other job, and
Yeah.
it's tough to do that. It's really tough to find the balance, and luckily I was able to find a restaurant that would work with me. But I also do gig economy stuff. So I do like Instacart, which you can do in any city. The only thing is like if I do it in Washington, I have to pay Washington taxes and vice versa and all that stuff. But you can do it anywhere you're at. So if you're like a traveling comic, I would definitely recommend doing like Uber Eats, Instacart, anything like that. I think that's the best way because it can work around your own schedule and you can make enough money to keep moving across the country, basically.
Do you ever feel terrified about like the lack of job security? Like that for me is a huge thing. I can't.
I kind of like it. I like the adrenaline of it. It pushes me to work a little harder. But I've always had it unstable. I mean, I work in restaurants. It's the most unstable. Like you never know. You're either gonna make $1,000 a week or $40 in a week. Like you can never tell what's gonna happen unless you're like in season. So.
To put a bow on, and I think it's good that I mean, you're going to see a variety of styles, and it's good that you're doing what you're doing, Kavita. And I agree with you. Stability is kind of important. Kavita, before we wrap up, I wanted to give you an opportunity to promote any shows you got coming up, whether they be Zoom or live or anything at all you want to plug, your Instagram handle, anything.
Yeah. So okay, you guys can follow me on Kavita Singh 200. I know it's a weird handle.
Okay.
This is like your classic AIM, like tofu, like cool gal 500, whatever. It's like Kavita Singh 200. I have a show coming up on Sunday at this event called Crazy Funny Asians.
Okay.
That's going to be an SF. But if you follow me, that's it.
All
I
right.
post a bunch of queer, and femme open mics and stuff. So yes. Thank you.
Perfect. We'll put that on our Facebook group page. Guys, give it up for Kavita Singh for coming on the show. Much appreciated. Now don't go anywhere because we have Kavita, you're a part of our quiz that's going to happen later on. But right now we're going to switch up gears and we're going to do a little bit different type of comedy. We're going to do some improv, and Ed Ruben, I'm going to spotlight Ed. Is our leader on that. Ed, you want to explain what we're about to do?
Oh, sure. So, most people that do improv tell you never ask any questions. But in our game, all you're supposed to do is ask questions. So we're going to use a web page to generate an initial thought or idea. And then and there'll be two people and they'll just go back and forth until one of them says something that is not in the form of a question. Now we do play a little loosey-goosey, but anyway, so don't worry too much. Don't get stressed out about this. But anyway, who would like to participate? It is not as bad as you might think if you.
All right, Valarie.
Okay. Who created the universe?
Well, we're gonna.
Oh no! So we're gonna let you choose one of these three buttons.
Do you see the?
Ask the thing a question, and then we have to keep asking in questions.
Right. We just go back and forth asking each other questions.
Okay. Well, I'll get location. Can I get a location?
Heritage Theater. Does that work for you? Let's start with you and Valarie at the Heritage Theater.
The universe. What's the difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
What time the show starts here?
Do I know what time the show starts?
Do you?
Why are the floors so sticky?
What type of theater is this?
What are we doing here?
Aren't you here to see a show?
Why are the people running the theater not wearing pants?
Why are we calling the dollar store a theater?
You only paid $1 for your ticket?
Oh, that's not a question, Ed.
It was.
That was a question?
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, whatever. I'm happy to lose.
Well, that was good. That was the demonstration round.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
who else would like to participate?
I didn't know if we were taking turns or if we were supposed to jump in.
No, that was so hard. I was watching that and getting so scared.
Oh, come on, Kavita, you'll do great. Would you like to do it with you and Kyle?
Okay.
Let's do
Damn
it.
it.
All right, Kyle and Kavita.
Let me pull up Kyle here.
All right.
And guys, but Kirk Broussard is here. Hi, Kirk. He's our Kirk's a comic in Vegas and a fan, and we always welcome. And Kirk, you're welcome to do any of the the improv comments, whatever it is. So
Don't threaten everybody.
chime
like
in,
that.
buddy, anytime you want. All right, so we'll go back to the random word generator.
Yes. Kavita, just to make it easier on you, you get to choose.
Okay. Can I get a word? Oh my God. Freaking out. Literacy.
All
Okay.
right.
Do I start?
Either one of you can start. Whoever is inspired.
Hello, sir. I found this book and I find it completely incomprehensible.
Has to be a question, Kavita.
Oh,
Has to be a question.
What does this letter with all the squigglies mean? You know, the one with the squigglies.
sir,
It's not a question.
that is a question. Do I have to answer in a question?
No,
Yes.
you ask your own question, but make it related to what he asked you.
Okay, so we keep asking each other questions.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, okay. So you go, what is this word related to? What is the squiggly? What is the hump that the squiggly sits over?
Why does my head hurt?
Why does your head have a squiggly mark over it?
Do I open or close it to read?
Do you know how to read?
Do you know how to read?
Do I not work at this bookstore?
How many blinks till I understand?
Someone step in.
Okay. All right.
All right, ring the bell. Ring the bell. Good job, you guys. Good job.
Yeah.
Many things until I understand.
All right. So Kirk and Tommy, would you like to do it?
Valerie,
Let's do it.
Oh,
Is
Valarie.
Valarie-
All right, Kirk and Valarie.
All right, Kirk and Valerie.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's
All
put
right.
Kirk back
Kirk,
in.
I think Valarie got to choose one time, so I'm going to let you choose this time. Which of the three buttons? And I will tell you, nobody has chosen relationship. yet,
Relationship?
and that always can be a fun one.
Well, in that case, I'm going location.
Yeah.
Are you actually as tough as I've heard you are, Valarie?
Can you help me find out?
Isn't that why we're here in the ring? Wearing gloves?
Isn't that why we're in this jewelry store buying a gladiator ring?
Sounds.
Where are we?
How did we end up in the jewelry store from the wrestling ring?
What is time?
What is happening?
Where is my mind?
Why are we quoting the Pixies?
Where did the pixies go?
That's it. I'm done.
All
You
right.
win.
I like the idea that Valarie made it about getting married quickly.
Yeah.
And Kirk's in Vegas and it's like, I don't know what to do.
Turn.
Good job, everybody.
Good job, everybody.
Woo!
All right. So let's next up we're gonna do another interview. Kyle, let me put Kyle back on spotlight here. Guys, Kyle Adams is here.
Woo!
Kyle. Kyle, I often see Kyle on Zoom from his car, so this is perfect. And Kyle's often in his car because he actually has gigs performing live stand-up comedy in the Oregon-Washington corridor, I guess. I know him from Zoom, great comedian, and I also know that he's done very well, actually making some income at it as well. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about that. But first, let's start with just an intro. Kyle, why don't you tell us about yourself, how you got into comedy, and sort of your career arc till now?
Okay. I am from Florida originally, so loitering in this Walmart parking lot is not new territory. I've definitely done that before. I've been in the Portland area it'll be 10 years, June 15th. I moved there on my 24th birthday from Florida, and I just was not a fan of bugs and heat and snakes and rednecks. But moving to Oregon, I thought I would never have to hear country music or hear about Jesus again. And I didn't realize that once you leave Portland, it's essentially Kentucky. So boy, was I surprised.
Welcome to full circle.
Yeah. But no, I started comedy in 2014. So I've been at it for 7 years now. I started at the Brody Theater in Portland, which is now defunct, unfortunately. It's in Chinatown. And it was weird how I got into it. I've always loved stand-up comedy. I used to sneak watch it in the trailer that we lived in when I was a kid. There was like the way the trailer was set up, I could hide in this little corridor by my room, and I could see the TV in the living room, and my dad watched Comedy Central like religiously. So I saw basically every Comedy Central presents from like 94 all the way to like 2005 or whenever they stopped doing it frequently. And I used to sneak watch like South Park and stuff too. But I've always wanted to be a stand-up comic. And I met a dude when I was working at Red Robin who introduced me to the Portland open mic scene. And I went and checked one mic out, and then, like a lot of comics, I'm like, I can do that. Like,
right.
And I've been running at it for 7 years now. I'm getting a lot of success now, which is awesome. It took a while to get comfortable, but a lot of things that really helped me out, and I know a lot of comics talk about it as well, is working on my mental health. I got into therapy. I've been microdosing mushrooms.
That is the only way.
Yeah, I quit drinking alcohol. I haven't drank alcohol in almost 3 years, and that was a huge help because I used to black out on stage and just forget my set. I would be funny sometimes, but I mean, a lot of times I was up there just slurring, and it took me a while to really find my ground. But I feel like this has been the busiest year for comedy for me. January, February, March, I've been completely booked. I have got a full week coming up in Seattle. I'm really excited about. I just got hired as a feature at Club Comedy out there, so I'm going to be doing that. And it's been amazing.
Does that mean that you're like a regular there, that you've passed and you're gonna
I got past there. He is hiring a lot of people from Portland.
Okay.
So I kind of have a little bit of an in on that way, but I had a great time. I did the audition last month and I had a fantastic set, and it was so much fun. And I honestly, I like Seattle a little bit better than Portland just for comedy. It's just, there's more, Portland is fun, but it's kind of a closed market in a lot of ways. I honestly, I do like maybe 2 shows a month in town right now. And I mic in town all the time, but I'm booked maybe like once or twice a month, honestly.
Kyle, what's stopping you from like moving to a bigger spot if you're so like established in Portland?
I'm waiting it out still. I'm kind of centralized for the Pacific Northwest, which is nice. And I'm going to be getting down to the Bay Area in June. I was out there pre-pandemic for like a week, hanging out with family and stuff, because I have family out there as well. But I'm just kind of, I like where I'm at right now. I do see myself in New York eventually, but it's going to take me a minute. And I know I'm going to have to sell everything I own and live in a little closet, but I romanticize the shit out of that. Like, I'm so excited to just downsize everything to a duffel bag. And I mean, I'm in my car every time that I do this. I am in love with this lifestyle. Like I am absolutely in love with it.
What impresses me about you, Kyle, is that, so a lot of comics that are working comics like yourself have just dismissed Zoom outright, but you have never done that. You've always seemed to look at it as an opportunity. You know, you go on the Zoom, you try your few jokes out that you might be using that evening, and then you go and perform it. So like you've struck a balance, and I like your material, but you know what? You sent us a clip. So what I think we should do is play that, and then Kavita and Valarie and everyone here that's on this watching now, plus people on Facebook Live, can see what is Kyle Adams' comedy about. So let's do that first. Would you set this up for us, Kyle? Where is this?
This is at Helium. This is Helium Comedy Club in December, and the set is referring to how I don't like my name. And it's Kyle Rittenhouse material. It's
oh no.
It's an anti-Kyle bit from a Kyle. It's it's a lot of fun though.
All right, here we have Kyle Adams at Helium in Portland. Did you say Portland, Oregon. This is our only club in Portland right now. Okay.
I love that club. I went there last year. So cute.
It's so much fun. It's a great room.
Yeah.
Yes, Kyle is my name, and I've never been a fan. Never been a fan, and now it seems it's time to drop it. It seems like it's time to get rid of that name forever. It is now attached to just the most adorable child murderer I've ever seen. Just the cutest, chubby-cheeked little murderer. There's graffiti downtown that just says "fuck Kyle" now, and I've got seasonal depression. I don't need much else to send me back to bed. I'm like, this city's rejecting me. I'm just trying to take suggestions now based on what I look like, what my name should be. What do you guys think? So just shout out what you think my name should be based on what I look like. Joe, I had a very nice black lady the other night say I look like a Malik. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can fill those shoes. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know. I did see graffiti the other day that said all cops are Kyles. So I think I'm just gonna go by Bastard Adams. I think that's my Bastard Adams. Yeah, it's got a ring to it. Yeah, the shouting portion is over now. Kyle Rittenhouse, the cutest child murderer we've ever had. I think the reason the Christians defend him so much is he looks like one of those like baby angel cherub paintings. I think that he said that he killed those people in self-defense. I think they just like pinched his little cheeks. I think it was like, he's like, oh man. I'm a better crier than that motherfucker too, by the way. He's a horrible crier. By the time I was 17, I had been to more funerals than he's caused. So I think I know a little better how to cry. Yeah, dude. I felt immature before, though. I can relate to feeling kind of immature. I'm sure he's getting a lot of that right now. Like, my most immature moment I ever had, I walked into a strip club with a Velcro wallet. I would not recommend that. It's like, the dancers want to see that you're tipping. They don't need to hear it. It's like a whoosh. I'm just a 33-year-old man trying to spend his allowance. I don't know why. It's gonna be a problem here. You know how many lawns I had to mow to get these titties in my face? This is... Guess how many lap dances I can afford? This many. All right. I cover myself in fur and flannel so people don't know I'm from Florida. That's another thing. I got the Kyle thing, and then I got the Florida thing. That's 2 strikes right there in Portland. It's weird when you grow up in Florida. Your role models are terrible people, like the people that are supposed to be your role models. My grandfather, he was awful. Let's go over the list here. He was racist. He was homophobic. He was sexist. He would have been transphobic if he had lived longer. It would have been a whole new world of hate for him. He would have been like, they're doing what? Which is ironic because he got their pronouns right on the first try. I don't know how he did that. All right, I've been Bastard Adams.
All right. Good job, Kyle. That's great material. And then what I like is that it's relevant and also a very good clip, like very high quality.
I was noticing that too. Did
you pull that off?
Record that, or did the Helium do it?
We are very privileged. We have Randall Craven. He it's I forget the name of it. I think it's Cranival Studios is what it's called. So he does a lot of videography work for Portland. He produces a lot of podcasts out there. He has his own podcast network, and it's like $15 a tape for each open mic. And then for the longer sets, it's like 20, 25. But he'll caption them, and he edits the sound and everything, and it's amazing. He's even got a microphone right on the stage to pick up all of the audio and everything.
That's I think that's the best clip we've ever had on.
It's the best clip we've ever had, and
it's also hilarious. Like
it's very funny too.
So
yeah.
Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate that.
And
yeah,
it's
I
so
love that
hard.
bit.
That's speaking from personal experience. It's just you can never get a good clip. It's just always, either you do well, but then there's nobody taping, or you do, or you have a good quality stuff set up, but then you don't have a lot of laughs. So, I mean, you just got the right mix there. So, hey, Kyle, before we wrap up here, I wanted to give you an opportunity to promote what's going on. It sounds like you got a lot of stuff going on, but we do have people watching live, and this is going to go on to YouTube. Tell us what's coming up for you for shows.
So,
and what you want.
Tonight, it's not going to be able to get people out tonight, but I'm very excited. I'm doing it's a Soul of Wit Productions. So I work with them a lot. That's Ty Boyce and Leroy Furwood and a couple other people run that. And it's going to be an Edgar Allan Poe show where Ty Boyce plays Edgar Allan Poe and gives the audience sex tips. And it's going to be hilarious. And we're all doing sets on there too. And we're having like an interaction with Edgar Allan Poe. And I saw some of the clips from the previous shows, and it's going to be so much fun. I'm really excited. That's going to be in Monmouth, Oregon tonight.
Okay.
And then I got a full week in Seattle from March 11th to March 19th. I'll be out there for 8 days doing a bunch of shows. But I'm very excited about the club comedy. I'm doing that. I'm going to be featuring out there on St. Patrick's Day. So it'll be March 17th. I'll be the headliner is going to be Chad Opitz, so I'm very excited to work with.
Yeah,
he's really funny. Yeah, he's super funny, dude. And then let's see. I have a podcast. We haven't made an episode in a while, but it's a fun watch. It's called Comedians in Cars Spilling Condiments, and it's a fast food podcast that we do. And it's me and my friend Ryan Danley, who also has a bunch of really awesome podcasts you should check out. But yeah, that's about it. And then Kyle Adams Comedy on Instagram and on YouTube and Facebook as well.
I got you.
Nice.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Kyle, for coming on the show, guys. Once again, give it up to Kyle Adams. Kyle, if you could, we're only going another half an hour more, so if you could stay and do part of the quiz, that'd be great. Wish you the best of luck, Kyle, and hopefully you're gonna make it big, and we'll all say we knew you went. So
that's very sweet.
So we got one more interview to do. She's been very patient, and I appreciate that. And guys, she's here. Let's give it up for Valarie Apperson.
Yay!
Valarie. Hello. Now, Valarie, I did mention to the world something about biotechnology. So how I know you is I know you from Zoom comedy. And I always like your sets, and I always like the subtle reference you make to the fact that you're a biotechnologist during the daytime, but we don't need to get into too much of that. But anyway, go ahead, Valarie, and introduce yourself as far as your comedy background and how you got into comedy, and if it's relevant to what your day job is too.
Somewhat. So I'm not in biotechnology, but I did study, and I was in an interdisciplinary biotech program in Houston, and I tried to start comedy, but I chickened out. And then I ended up moving to South Dakota, and I started stand-up at West Dakota Improv.
Okay.
And my very first open mic, the host, his name was Greg, whatever the fuck. He sexually harassed me. And so I arranged events so that there was a roast battle and he was my opponent, and I was like 4 months into comedy, but I beat him so hard that he quit comedy, and his girlfriend cried, and I watched her cry.
Oh my god, wow.
Yeah. And then
so poetic. I love it.
Yeah, I don't know, I mean, it was one of those small town comedy things where like it's super competitive, and him and his girlfriend like were like in an open relationship, unicorn hunting me, and I said no over and over, but they never left it alone. And so I had to make a fat joke about her because she was a bitch. And it's on YouTube for everyone to see. And I also bragged about it on the radio, so now it's in space.
Oh my God.
Anyways,
the ultimate takedown.
then I moved to Arlington and I started comedy at Summers, and then I branched out into DC, and then from there did a few shows at Producers Club in New York and a couple open mics. And then now I'm in Baltimore, kind of doing a few things here and there, but you know, Zoom comedy is a thing too. It keeps you writing, and that's what I do as a day job. It's well, not anymore. I'm looking for work because somebody got fired.
So you, like Kavita was saying before, you know, it sounds like you've experienced a lot of different markets too. Sounds like, you know, you got Dakota, Virginia, Maryland, all these different places. How do you feel about like the different markets? Is there anything interesting you can share with us about?
Sure. I mean, I think I see what Kavita was saying about, well, like in DC comedy, everybody has a job because you don't go to DC just to hang out. You go to DC to do big things. And so all the comedians have like day jobs. There's even a group called the Overachievers Club or whatever the fuck. Like, DC overachieverism is so profoundly psychotic that the day after the coup, the gym was calling me saying I missed a workout. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
You're insane, dude. And then like, I don't know, it was so crazy doing comedy during the Trump administration because I was pissed. I'm from the border and Kids in Cages, and I would go like to bars on Capitol Hill and be like, oh, I guess we could say whatever the fuck we want on stage. Can I say kill the president? Kill the president. Oh, it's just a joke. And like, and I thought I was
the audience gets so tense. But the audience just gets so tense and uncomfortable. I feel like you probably.
But I loved it. I loved it because they're all staffers. Yeah, but like I gradually got to like crafting punchlines because that's important.
Of course.
But for a while I was just fucking around.
Now, Valarie, you also so you were doing stand-up, then you were on Zoom, and I know you did a lot of Zoom because I would see you, and now you're back to performing live. Do you feel like Zoom helped you with the craft in the absence?
Totally. Yeah, totally. The struggle that I had, like shifting my focus back into you know, in person, was that my Zoom jokes were a lot shorter. They were like, I could do like a 2-liner and it would have a different flow, and it almost had to be like little short choppy things because of the delay and stuff. And then I take it on stage and I only had like 3 minutes and I'm talking too fast and I'm not resting for laughs and stuff. So there was adjusting to do, but at least it kept me writing and it made me good at job interviews.
And by the way, I'm going to show a clip of yours, Valarie, but before we do that, Ed's mom is watching us, you guys. So give it up for Ed's mom for watching. You sent us a clip. So let's go ahead and see a little bit of your comedy. Let me first find it here. Valarie, here we go. And maybe you can set this up for us. So where is this at? This is fairly recent, like last summer, right?
Yeah, this is on the Hill. And I started a website called byebyebezos.com, and I'm gonna continue it, and it's gonna be an e-commerce, but it's gonna be under the name mosaic.x. Pretty sure, and it should be an e-commerce store that rivals Amazon, and I have a way to do it without building any warehouses. Anyways,
okay.
It's it'll probably take like 2 years to do a business plan. Don't worry about it right now. I was very excited at the time.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll play a couple minutes of this. So here's Valarie Apperson on the Hill at, I guess, Hamilton. This is the Hamilton, as it says on the. Okay, here we go.
想要分享。大家好，我是 keep the show moving. This next comedian.
Oh, I love Fernando. I just want to clap when Fernando.
Okay. So, I don't know. I kind of feel like I look like Poison Ivy, and the Joker had a baby, and then the baby decided to open up a hamburger shop. I don't know. I'm definitely not gonna fight crime. I do want to be rich someday, so I dyed my hair the color of money and slime. You know, I'm starting a business, so that's pretty exciting. I'm starting a business, and I interviewed a CEO for advice, and she said that if you want to start a business, you have to have like this internal generator, like this energy in you that never burns out. And I was like, that is perfect. I love taking uppers. And some people judge me for being on Adderall all the time, but I mean, Hitler was addicted to amphetamines, and look at all he accomplished.
Oh my god.
Motivated by hate. Imagine if you were motivated by love. Maybe you could start your own Amazon. I'm not crazy at all. Anyway, my mom grew up Catholic, and she left the Catholic Church, but she still found a way to damage me with religion. So she converted to the Jehovah's Witnesses. Who's there? It's fucking me, and I don't want to be here either. I didn't read this magazine, and you shouldn't either. But it's weird because it's a cult. Jehovah's Witnesses are a cult, and like when we grew up, they would force us kids to go out and preach door to door, like salesmen, you know? And it's like, how unfair. Jehovah's Witness kids have to be salesmen, but Catholic kids just get to lay back and get molested. I'm all about working smarter, not harder. It's not easy canvassing the streets.
Wish I didn't need that.
My parents are still in the cult, and sometimes I think it's like my responsibility to help them get out. Because who would know, right? Who would know how to get them out other than, I got out. But then they're going to want to come over. It's like, it's a sweet deal. My parents are like in a snow globe. It doesn't matter what I do. I could go into pornography, I could become the president. It wouldn't fucking matter. They'll never know. There's
All right, let's give it up for Valarie. That was exactly.
Oh, you didn't do the alien one.
Was there another one you wanted? Is there one right after that you wanted me to play?
Yeah, or I could just tell it to you.
Tell us what did we miss? Yes.
Okay, so ever since the Me Too movement happened, it got me thinking. If you don't believe in aliens, then you don't believe in rape. It's true. If you don't believe in aliens, you don't believe in rape, because there's a lot more eyewitnesses for aliens than there are for rape. So are we taking eyewitness testimony here, or what's going on? I guess we all forgot about the Phoenix Lights.
That's funny.
I changed
I like
the Catholic
that.
one too. Could I tell you the new version of the Catholic one?
Sure.
Okay. So I grew up in a cult, and one of the things the Jehovah's Witnesses made us do was go preaching door to door. And I always thought it was so unfair. Like, why do we have to go knocking door to door like salesmen, and Catholic kids get to just lay back and get molested? Don't get me wrong, Jehovah's Witnesses molest kids too. They just don't let them lay down. More of a working holiday.
I've never, so this is all true, right? Your parents were still are Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah. I never, in New York, occasionally we would get Jehovah's Witnesses knocking at the door, but I haven't seen that much in California. I don't know. Maybe it's a regional thing.
I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing.
We get Mormons out in California. That's more prevalent. But
The Mormon deal always pissed me off too, because it was just the boys, and they only had to do it for like 2 years, and I had to do it my entire fucking life.
yeah.
And then I went into marketing naturally.
There you go. You're a natural salesperson at that point. Valarie, do you have any shows or things, podcast, anything you want to promote that's coming up? Or
Sure. I have a show at it's the Pizza Party comedy show at Sam's Pizza in Durwood, Maryland on March 26th.
Okay.
Woo.
I have an NSA podcast, and you guys are all part of it. I figure if we do NSA trigger keywords, 9/11, terrorism, just kidding. We're a peaceful bunch. We want no harm to anyone, but I figure it would lighten the mood for whoever's surveilling. And then the other thing I wanted to plug, I'm running for fake president. Me and Sean Wickens, who's a producer, comedian, and playwright he produces the Stoner Morning Show. So Sean Wickens is going to be my VP, and I'm going to be fake president, and we're just not going to do anything. It's Apperson Wickens 2024. More of
all
this.
right. There you go.
So,
there you have it.
I don't even know if we're going to campaign. We're just saying that we're doing it. We
You know,
literally
why
went
not?
to Wilmington.
It's America. It's a free country. You do what you want. So, guys, give it up for Valarie. Absolutely coming on the show. Valarie, don't go anywhere. You're gonna be part of the quiz.
Okay.
And let's keep it rolling. And guys, we have Niko Lukoff back. Everybody give it up for Niko for coming on the show.
Hey guys.
Niko's got a unique, instead of Zoom comedy report, I think he's got a live comedy report for us tonight.
Yeah, I'm on my way to a brewery, Twisted District Brewery, who is doing their first comedy night tonight, and I'm running it, scarily enough. So thanks. I'm a little nervous, also very excited. And before Kyle hits the road, I would say it's great to see him, man. It was great to see you in real life, and you need to be on that one dude's stoner breakfast show, wherever that was. She was just mentioning it.
Right.
That would be a great guest for that. I met Kyle in Portland, just doing open mics and stuff before everything shut down. And he's done Zooms. It's been awesome. And a lot of life stuff.
Actually, gotta leave. I'm sorry, Niko.
Oh, good guy. I saw your name.
I gotta hit the road, man. It's good to see you in that beard, though.
You too. I'll be in your town in a few weeks, man. I'll see you soon.
Oh yeah, sounds good. Have a good one, everybody.
All right,
Very nice
Kyle.
to meet everybody.
Take care, Kyle.
You go.
See ya.
I saw something about Lee. That's why I fetched him right away. But yeah, there's a brewery here in town here in Boise that's put on a show, and I booked the comics and then we'll have an open mic at the end, and the venue is just really excited about comedy, and they've been promoting it. So I'm pretty stoked. It should be pretty fun. And one thing I want to do, and I was talking to the venue owner yesterday, I was meeting with them, is about doing some kind of hybrid show where I could, have because I know that's not the most like people. There's people that do this, that do these shows. I think it'll happen more and more where you can, you got TVs there, they got HDMI ports. It shouldn't be that difficult. I'm sure those things I'll run into thinking about, but just webcam on the audience and be able to say stuff like, coming to stage right now, it's, Eric Newton from Oakland, or, Winston Hodges from DC, or Ed Ruben, or Tommy Feldman, Valarie, whoever, just from wherever. I think that'd be really fun, like after a show of live comedy and everyone's just kind of already having a really good time, being like, hey, this is my friend from this place who, doesn't really, it's not super economical to necessarily travel across the country, to do one show. That might not be like super high paid for that. So I think they're into that. So I think after tonight, depending on how that goes, I'm going to try to introduce that a little more. And I know there's some venues that have done that, but I just kind of from the beginning of Zoom, I was like, this would be really cool to be able to do. And now we're there. We know how to do it.
Yeah.
And putting together stuff, going through the venue and booking everybody and figuring out budget stuff and all those things. I'm like, Zoom is so much easier. It is work, but it's so much easier and different. And this place comedians group that I'm pretty sure all of you guys are in, they're on this call right now, it's been almost 2 years now, which is insane. And it's been really a lot of people joining it. I know I said these last several shows are people that haven't evenly done Zooms, and it's just been about connecting. It started out based around Zoom and online shows, which is also great, but now we're workshopping bits and we're helping each other. And I think overall in a positive way, giving advice on what kind of microphones to bring somewhere to, record your sets and stuff. and be able to have comics of every level, some that have never stood on stage and maybe never will, to some that have only done Zooms, and to some that started on Zoom that are going to do live, and to people that have been doing live for decades and that are like imparting their knowledge and experience with everybody. And I think that's it's one of my favorite things about Zoom, and I think that's going to continue. So I'm pretty stoked all around.
So Niko, this what you mentioned before, this idea of a live audience, but then the Zoom comics, is that happening? I mean, is that a done deal? Are you going to do this, or?
I haven't set it up yet. We started talking about it, and I would be surprised if we weren't doing that within a month. I might be a little more optimistic, but I mean, I don't like the technology is there. It might take a little more equipment than I already have in my garage, but not much. Probably gonna be really glitchy and weird. But I mean, hop on the Wi-Fi, snap on a webcam. I'm saying it like it's real easy. It's probably going to be more difficult.
You can do it.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. No, that sounds great. I want to hear more about that.
Yeah, and, I know shows have done the opposite way, where they've done live shows where there's like no one there because it was like pandemic, like at the time when like there was nobody there. It's like super quiet, like a few people in the background you can hear, and zooming out to the online, which was cool that people were doing that. But man, that was rough. I didn't do any of those shows, but I watched some and I was like, power to everyone, like props to everyone doing it, but like that did not, they're figuring out what ways to do stuff. But I think the other way is a good way to go, because that's one cool thing that I've got going for me as far as booking this room, is because I know so many comedians now, because we're all just connected. So like we could all just know each other, and you're like, hey, you're coming to town. Like I seen some comics, I'm like, oh, I saw you posted some dates in Boise. If it works out to squeeze in a show, here's a spot for you to do this, and this is what I can pay. It's not $1 million, but it's not nothing. And if you want, if it works out, great. Or just come in and do a guest set, or just come say hi. Whatever.
I think it's reasonable to do, because you have that all the time, like TED Talks and things like that, where the person is from another country, they can't come, they couldn't make it, they couldn't travel over, so they'll do their talk on the screen.
Yeah,
same thing, right?
You could even gamify it. Right, so the person on the screen could be involved in some sort of game.
Yeah, that'd be fun too.
Quiz.
Yeah, like the quiz game. You guys are gonna do a little bit. I'm probably not gonna be on for that, but I'll have my phone on to watch, because it's fun to watch. Yeah, that would be cool too. Just something kind of engaging and interesting. I think it could be a special treat for the people there. And then it'd be really cool if then later that comic got to come physically there, and with the same people to be able to say like, hey, I'm actually here, like making a friend online and seeing him in person, which has been super cool to see everywhere. So
I like it, Niko. And then what you're showing us is that Zoom. Okay, originally Zoom comedy was about not the pandemic and not getting COVID, but now we're transitioning to it's using the technology to just broaden for everybody. Audiences can see more comics can see more audiences. It's great. So appreciate Niko. Appreciate you. Good luck with your show tonight, and appreciate you coming on as usual, guys. Give it up for Niko.
All right, thanks everybody. Great to see you.
All right, thanks, Niko. Okay, you guys. So we've come to the end of the main portion of the show. Now we just sort of have a little fun between us comics. We have a little quiz show that we do. And the way this works is this is a quiz about Japanese commercials. And you're probably wondering why. And the answer is, well, I used to live in Japan a long time ago, and when I was always impressed with their comedy. And this comes out in their commercials. And I've always, when I started doing comedy 2 years ago, I've thought of ways to incorporate that. And finally, with Zoom, I figured it out. I show commercials from Japan, and I stop them halfway or around halfway. And I like to have my comedian guests try to guess, what is this commercial possibly advertising? What is the product or service that they're advertising here? And, comedians, Kavita and Valarie, you don't have to make, legitimate guesses. You can make real guesses or fake guesses or whatever you want. So we'll go to you first, two of you. Yeah, anything. And then we'll go to the Facebook audience second. And then lastly, we'll go to Ed. And because Ed has been doing this a while, so he's a little bit of a ringer, I suppose. So with that, let us go to our first commercial, if I can find it here.
Do I have to know the exact name of the product, or is it more
about
knowing?
You just have to guess like what kind of
okay.
product it is. So
it varies by commercial. That's how detailed Tommy was.
Okay, so let's start with the first commercial here. So it's right after Indeed. So here we go.
Indeed.
Starting now.
A Samsung phone.
All right, we'll stop there. A lot of dancing, choreography.
Cloud service.
It's a cloud service.
Are you right? It's okay. There's a SIM card. It's like a weird SIM card.
Uh-huh.
And it looks like there might be some travel involved.
Uh-huh.
Is it your social credit score thing?
You guys are both getting warmer in the sense that it is a service.
Is it a Metro card?
It's a service and it is on your phone, but it's not travel.
Is it a parking app?
Not a parking.
A COVID app?
You're getting close and going around it. For these Facebook audience, does anybody have a guess on Facebook? No.
It's not an app. It's a credit card. It is
passport.
Wi-Fi.
I'll play it through a little bit more. How's that? We'll play it through a little bit more. And
is it obvious? Like,
why are they won't let us look at it?
Let me see if they can show it. Do they have a screen? It's on the phone. It's an app. No, that's all that's the whole commercial. So
it's an app. Okay.
It's definitely an app.
Commercial, play it again. Play it more.
All right, I'll play it again. I can play it again for you.
Play it till the end.
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
I feel like I can gather something from the very, very end. Oh, is this how you order?
That was it. It is how do you what? Order rodents? Did you say?
Grocery.
Oh no, it's let's ask Ed. Ed, what do you think?
I was gonna guess that it's like a thing to get odd jobs and stuff like that.
You are correct, Ed.
Wait,
it is
what?
a.
I said it's a thing to order groceries, and Instacart is an odd job, gig economy job. So I win.
It's an app. It's an app for people who want to work part-time jobs.
All right, fine.
How did you guys get that? Like,
I don't know, Ed. How did you guess that?
I think it was from the people in those costumes. They just look like they were somebody that might have used the app to get those
exactly. Yeah.
Funky jobs.
So that's why I said. That's why I told you guys. Ed is a ringer. He's seen a lot of these before. The girl. She takes the part-time job. She shows up to, dress as a costume character. And then at their lunch break, she's like, wait a minute, it's me and all these like old men, Dude,
I thought it was like men who made her feel unsafe or something. Like,
I didn't know how to read that.
No, those are just her coworkers. So, and by the way,
Japan's not taking care of its elderly. They got to do gig economy work too.
Well, that's what I like about these commercials is it tells you a lot about Japanese culture, which is the other reason I like to do this. So baito is actually a German word, comes from the German word Arbeit, which, I don't know if you know about that, to work. And and in Japan, gig jobs have been around for people have been doing this for a long, long time. And typically older people, when they retire, sort of forced to retire from Japanese corporations, because usually there's a time they have to retire, like at 62 or 63 or whatever it is. Then they're stuck doing nothing until they take these part-time jobs. So that's a little bit of cultural lesson for you guys. And let's go on to the next commercial. Let's see here if I could find it for you guys. The next one is a little bit potentially more straightforward, but let's see. Let us see if I can find it. And you guys are doing great, by the way. I love the guesses. You could keep taking as many guesses as you like. Okay, so it's right after this commercial, starting now.
Car rentals.
Oh, it's a specific car. It's a specific car.
Yeah, you guys got it, both of you. Because for one thing, I kind of messed up. I shouldn't have stopped here. but Valarie was starting to say cars, car rental, car service. So yeah, it's a car. It's
We
a
start.
it's a car, and you probably guessed it. Valarie, how did you know it was a car? From the
key.
The keys.
Okay. I mean, it's a big key, so I was wondering, thought maybe that would fool you
What
guys.
brand
But
of car is that anyway?
Daihatsu.
Oh, okay.
Has
Why are-
anybody?
Why are Japanese cars so small? That's like my
They're
question.
small.
It's just it's a very crowded country. There's not a lot of space, so they are excellent makers of compact, ultra compact vehicles. But this commercial, what's going on here is everyone's getting in the car elevator with their car keys because they're all owners of a Daihatsu, and they're talking about all the amazing features that the car has, like braking, like a emergency braking system.
Of all the features, they could have picked smaller keys.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Giant keys.
The keys are as big as
Like,
a
nah,
car.
I'll take a different car.
So you guys have guessed already 2 so far. You're 2 for 2 as a team. Let me find the next commercial here. Okay, this is a good one. This one is legitimately funny. Right after this beer commercial.
Show me your idea.
Yes. Here's my solution from last meeting.
Good. Great. Perfect. But... なんか違うなんかわかんないけど
I've had that happen.
All right, so the gaijin, they call these guys, the American guy or the is called gaijin, But anyway, gaijin got flipped out. He asked for her idea, and then he goes nanka. What is that? What could that possibly mean? Kavita, what do you think?
Never.
You think nanka means never?
Yes.
I think nanka means this doesn't fit into our budget.
Getting warmer, but not
This will never work.
exactly.
Wait, what? Oh, this will never.
Nanka means something else.
I'm having a heart attack.
Trash?
Nope.
Garbage?
Facebook audience, there's still some people watching. No,
Google
any
this, but I
guesses?
won't.
Don't Google it. Ed, what do you think? What is nanka? What's
Start over?
Start over. You want to see it again?
No. I'm saying is nanka like never mind.
Let's give Ed a guess. Ed, what do you think?
Geez, I have no idea. Crap.
Well, not exactly. I mean, what would it be a commercial for then?
What? Oh, okay.
Let's rephrase it. What do you guys?
I would have guessed Snickers.
Snickers, yeah, Valarie. What did you say, Valarie?
Hiring service, like to find better candidates or something.
I'm gonna say Valarie wins.
Yeah.
It is. Yes, it is an employment service, not for part-time jobs. This is for full-time work. And
now he has to hire somebody for their idea stuff.
Next.
Oh my God.
I think the problem is him.
so what the commercial is saying is, if you're tired of working for that nasty foreign boss, come and see us at staff service, which is basically staff service. That's in English. That's what that means. It's a headhunting company. They'll find you a new job with a nice boss. And nanka is the boss. He's complaining. He's like, something's not right with this project. Nanka means something's missing.
Oh.
He's a hard to please boss.
It's so aggressive.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not appropriate work behavior at all. That's pretty bad.
What's interesting, but of course they make the gaijin out to be the bad guy.
It's a good commercial.
What are you gonna do? All right, we got one more commercial for you guys. I've got here.
Wait, I warn you, I do have to go in a minute, actually.
Okay, this will only take a minute. If you have a minute, this is. Let me see if I can find it for you. Hold on here, guys.
Gotta guess quick.
Oh yeah. Okay, here it is.
It's McDonald's.
It's right after the McDonald's.
It is McDonald's.
It's right after the McDonald's. All right, we'll go to.
Because they were holding up little toys. Oh, you. Oh, it's like a let go.
E-commerce? Is it e-commerce?
It's like
Yes, it is e-commerce.
Hey!
It is called Mercari. Do you guys know Mercari?
I'm not gonna lie, I've definitely heard of it.
Okay, all right. Well, Kavita, if you have to go, that's fine. That was the quiz. You got one. Valarie got one. Everybody got one. So, and that's, we're coming to the end here. Usually we wrap up with allowing our regulars to promote stuff. So, Ed, do you have any?
I have an open mic on Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock at Off the Hook in Campbell.
All right.
Hey, oh my God, Ed, I always want to go,
right.
but it's too far.
Fine.
What
Go
state?
while the traffic is still reasonable.
Oh my
While
God.
it's still pandemic levels, I guess. Yeah.
And I've got nothing particular to promote except to say that we will be back again in 2 weeks. March, I want to say 11th possibly is the date we'll be back. No guests scheduled yet, but it should be another fun show. So come check us out. Thanks for watching us Facebook Live. Thanks for watching us on YouTube and you see us. Valarie, Kavita, thank you so much. I'm going to put your stuff on our page.
Thanks.
Ed, thanks as well. And Ed, you want to list some outro music for us?
Thanks, everybody. It was great being with you.
All right, guys,
one.
have a great weekend. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody. Bye now.